Hey, Key Biscayne, it is Wednesday, April 13th, and this is actually an addendum to the show because we forgot to do What Are You Listening To?
Which is so important to us, so I'm upset that we forgot, but it's okay.
So we forgot, and now we're putting it at the front of the show really quick. What are you listening to? Do you want me to go first?
Sure. Yeah, sure, you go ahead.
Okay. So, Psychic Mirrors, I talked about them last week. I recommended a song called Island Girl that it was the first single off the album, but the album wasn't out yet last week. The album came out yesterday. Now, I started listening to the album. I've only been listening to rock lately, and this is a funk album, like funk new. They got a really new sound, but it's funk in the end. Oh,
I listened to it the whole way through a few times.
And so I had to listen to it like 10 times. And so the first, there's a couple songs that caught my ear. I think one was called In My Eyes, but the one I'm going to recommend is Head of the Class because it's really easy to listen to. It's good. It's really catchy off the first thing, and you should listen to this album, Psychic Mirrors. Check it out.
Okay, my song is called Love Is To Die. It's by a band called Warpaint. It's a band I used to listen to a couple of years ago, and it came back up somehow. I've been listening to it. The song is from 2013. The album is Warpaint, self-titled, 2014, and it's awesome. I hope it makes it on the air. I don't think it will, but it's awesome. Also, on Saturday, Caetano Veloso and Gilberto Gil are playing at, what is it called? The Bayfront Arena? The Bayfront Amphitheater? If you guys like them, do it. Oh, the guys are there here to pick us up. Okay, you should go check out the concert. It's going to be freaking awesome. It's two friends who have played together since the 60s. They've been playing together for a long time. They say that 2 years, two of them together, they've been playing for about 100 years. So that's pretty beautiful. Yeah. Two artists that were exiled from Brazil in the 60s, 70s dictatorship. And I'll stop now. We got to cut it off. So
is that it?
Yeah, that's it for the request. That's it for the request. Yeah.
All right, so that's it. P.S.
Oh, Psychic Mirrors is playing at Gramps when?
On April 22nd, it's possible that Psychic Mirrors plays at Gramps.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
So check it out.
Okay.
Okay, now enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show.
Bye.
Hey, are you shitting me? This is...
Hello, anglers, and hello, Key Biscayne. It is Wednesday, April 13th, and this is your No One's Listening show. Very sorry to interrupt if anybody was listening while fishing out there, but we do the show every Wednesday at 6:30, and so we're doing it right now. I'm your host, and Rafa, and with me is the super awesome panel. Let me introduce them. To my left is Anna.
Hey, Rafa.
All right, that's the panel.
And don't be sorry for interrupting the music. They'll enjoy our show.
Yeah, I
hopefully.
really will.
Our two-person show.
Awesome. This is the show where we talk about the key and what's going on. But first, we talk about the stuff we did off the key this weekend.
Yeah.
It's weekend talk.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go first?
I mean, oh, do we have a call?
Yeah, we have a call.
That would be exciting because it's just the two of us.
Hello? Hold on. We
do
got
have a caller.
What's going on, Rafa panel?
Hello.
This is Manny. How you doing, man?
Good. Happy birthday,
Happy
Manny.
birthday, Manny.
Thank you. But listen, the reason I'm calling is turn it down or fix your mics. You're coming in static.
Oh, all right. Okay,
Oh,
hold
no.
on.
Thanks for the warning.
And then we'll be listening.
Okay. Is it better now?
Hang on, I can't really listen to it right now because I think
How about
turn it down when
now?
someone calls in.
Oh, yeah.
Are you listening now?
Okay, well.
Get to work on it. We'll listen.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Text us.
All right.
Text us, yeah. Thanks, man.
Cool. Oh, man.
All right. So, yeah, I wish we got those calls every day because we probably sound like that all the time, really
And
bad.
no one tells us?
Nobody can tell us.
Well, we have like one friend that's a fan that texts me, but it's usually positive, and that's Danny DB.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so weekend
talk.
Jinx.
Double jinx.
Man, I think my phone's just blowing up right now.
No one ever calls us.
Okay, he says it cleared up. Awesome.
Perfect. Thanks, Manny.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, I thought it was Manny.
And we got another one.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so let's get on with it.
Yes.
On Friday, I announced last week that there was this show, Jacuzzi Boys. It's a band from Miami, but one of the guys is the bassist is the son of Reina, who owns the Boaters Grill, and they're a pretty big band. They put out a bunch of albums. They're known around the U.S. They've toured the whole U.S. and Europe and everything. And they played at Churchill's, and we went. And it was pretty awesome.
We had such a good time.
Yeah, it was rock and roll to the fullest.
It was.
And so, why don't you tell them about what happened?
What about
you?
My involvement in the mosh pit?
Yeah.
I don't know. I count it as involvement, but what really happened is that I stood near the front of the stage because I'm one of those people that pushes people aside so I could get to the front. But there was a mosh pit behind me, and so I kept getting pushed onto the stage, and I would push people back. People's feet were like slapping me in the face, and I was helping people go. I fell. I got up.
I saw Anna fall. Like people, like there's a guy stage diving, and Anna was decided to walk like right where the people were jumping off the stage. And so people were jumping like right on her, expecting her to be the one to catch them. And so like the first guy goes and he jumps right into like Anna's, I think his like pelvis hits Anna right in the face, knocks her over. Right behind her, because the way it had happened, it's like there was a little thin line of like two people deep right up on the stage, and then behind that was a big open circle where everybody was like in a mosh pit style thing. And so Anna, like it goes, and topples over when this happens. And luckily, I'm like looking like, oh God, like I'm about to go save her. And so luckily, like the other people there were courteous, and they picked her up off the floor. And then
it was a success.
Yeah, it was a success. I mean, and she's like headbanging there, and then I don't know. That was a good night.
It was a good night. I ended up on kneeling on the stage, like underneath the singer, so I wouldn't get like slapped in the face anymore or punched in the face. And whatever, I felt all cool.
Oh, what about the thing where you caught the mic?
I did catch the mic. The singer's mic it fell because people were jumping all over the stage and stage diving, and I felt all cool when I saved the mic. I saw my parents on Sunday and I showed them my bruises, and they just said, "You're way too old for this." But I don't agree, so whatever. I had a great time. And there was a metal band before they played, and that was cool. We headbanged to that. Rafa and I are both headbangers, so the next day we both had sore necks. But it's all worth it. I also got given a cassette tape by the drummer of the band, and now I need to find a Walkman.
Have we talked about why the cassettes are still around?
I think we've discussed it at length, but I don't think we've talked about it on the radio. And if we have, whatever.
I mean, I'll explain it real quick, just so anybody knows. The reason that cassettes are making a comeback is because bands can can record and distribute and print 50 cassettes for about $50, whereas CDs and albums, they have runs of much higher numbers, and you're talking about $1,000 just to get started. And so you're thinking like, well, it's the internet age, why don't they just give a download code? It's because nobody at a concert wants to pay $5 for a download code. They want to pay $5 for something tangible. They take that tangible thing, maybe inside is a download code. That gets done a lot too.
Yeah.
But so tapes are kind of making a comeback,
but
more as a souvenir than as an actual let's play the tape.
I get that as a souvenir at a concert. I think that's awesome. I have my tape sitting there in my kitchen, and I look at it all the time and feel all proud that I was chosen. I don't know. But at Urban Outfitters, they're now selling cassette tapes, and I think that's just silly. Like, come on.
Yeah, like buying like your favorite album
sell CDs
on
next?
tape.
Like, yeah,
that makes no
lame.
sense.
It's silly. It's like we're past that era.
Yeah.
Like, let's move along. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, and then on Saturday we went to the cottage, which was nice.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
Than's Andy.
Andy's
nice.
cottage. He had a little shindig there, and a lot of people went to the Pearl Jam concert, which we didn't go to.
Damn.
That was at the American Airlines Arena, and well, then we found out that Lala had really nice tickets.
Well, because
for $80, which is
they
really
sell
cheap.
they sell cheaper tickets behind the stage at the American Airlines Arena, but usually there's some sort of barrier or wall behind the band. So I didn't buy those tickets, and I didn't take Lala's tickets because I don't want to sit there staring at a wall, even if the music is good. But then come to find out through all of our friends' Snapchats and and pictures and videos that they send us that they took down that wall and barrier. So I would have gladly watched the back of their heads, you know? But yeah, they need to make that clear on these websites, man. It's not cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of people behind the stage.
Yeah. It was packed. The whole arena was packed. 360.
It's got to be, I mean, unless the band turns around, it's got to be a little weird to see them, like, behind their heads, you know?
Danny said that they turned around for one song.
Okay,
That's not enough.
Yeah, that's a little weird. You're just seeing their backs. I mean, it's cool still, but it's like, I don't know.
On
You don't see
Palladium,
their
I've
faces
seen
when they're getting, like, intense and stuff. And,
It's
like,
lame.
singing, like, the whatever little slow song they sing, and you don't get to see
The
Eddie
emotion.
Vedder, his emotion, exactly.
You look at the screen, man.
Yeah, that I hate. That's why I hate arena shows. The stupid
know,
screen.
arena
I hate
shows
looking at a
suck.
screen.
I know.
Stick to church.
But yeah, stick to the mosh pit at church shows. But I've seen like 360 arenas at on
Oh, yeah.
Palladium. Like Foo Fighters has done a bunch that are like these massive arena shows and they're 360 stage. So
Peter-
they like interact with all of it. It still sucks. I still want Churchill's concert, but
Have you ever listened to Peter Gabriel?
not really. I mean, I have, but not like.
So he's got this great show where he does that with a 360 stage, and there's like part of the show where he starts riding a bike around in circles. It's really cool.
That is cool. That is cool. But yeah, smaller venues are where it's at. Screw it.
All right, let's move on to trivia. 305-361-8557 is the number to call if you know the answer to this. You will win a free, very coveted beer.
And we have one too.
What is the full name of the artist who draws the comics in the Islander News? If you know the answer to that one, it's 305-361-8557. Win a beer. Be the most famous guy on the radio. I think people know this one, and I think people are listening, so I don't know. Call and let us know.
People are definitely listening today. Hey guys, oh my god, so many calls!
We got a caller.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Say your name.
You guys have a call. Mark Freed aboard the Gale Force.
Yeah.
We've got no fish,
Okay.
but
You've got
I
us.
think I do have an answer.
Okay. Let's see.
Evan.
First name?
Oh,
Pete.
Yes.
oh we got the first trivia caller ever, I feel like.
I think this is the first time this has ever happened, Mark.
Come collect your
I
prize.
bet it's just a great prize.
It is. It's going to be a beer. It's a shame you don't call in next week when I'm giving away 2 tickets to the 4th of July barbecue.
Oh, damn!
But you're getting in for free to that. You're going to get comped for that one anyway, so.
I might be on board for that radio show.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be great. Well, good luck with the Tarpon. I'm about to announce yesterday's results. I heard the helicopter pad's the place to be, but if I'm looking out here and there's so many boats out there, it seems like you guys are all in the same place.
I'm right by it. You look at the red boat, white top, at the stern of the Dorothy Ann.
Are you coming to the studio to collect your beer?
After I catch my first fish.
I think I saw some rolling right by here. No, I didn't. All
We have a mic for you here if you do come collect your beer.
You guys should put a line out.
right.
All right. So long.
Well, thanks so much for the call, and good luck out there. Yep. See you, Mark. And thanks for listening. All right. So, he got the trivia answer. It was Pete Evans. He is the guy who's been making the comics in the Islander News for God knows how long.
Is he a resident? I'm sure, because
Yeah,
it has to be keeps getting related.
I think so. He just sits in his apartment all day and just draws comics.
Just draws.
Comic after comic after comic. And the editor says, no. This one, yes, okay. He sends them to the New Yorker, but they always get rejected.
Oh.
Okay, so, as we do this show, the Haha Working Man's Tarpon Tournament is going on. This is a tournament that the Tellums organize at the Yacht Club. It's a tarpon tournament. It's called the Working Man's Tournament because it starts after work. Lines are in at 6:05, I think it is, and lines out at 8:15ish. And it's see how many tarpons you can hook in that time in 4 days. And so the best part about these tournaments, by the way, I'm going on a tangent.
Oh, we have another
Oh,
caller.
we got another call.
This is awesome.
Hello, caller.
Griff.
How's it going, Griff?
Calling you from the wet rat.
Have you guys hooked anything?
We haven't hooked anything, but I just wanted to clear a few things up. First, a shout out to Manny. It's his 49th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So big happy birthday to Manny. Second of all, I didn't know you guys headbanged.
Oh, I mean, come on. You don't even know the intensity of these shows.
Oh, wow.
It's like really like high energy, man. People are like jumping around. The whole room is moving.
Well, I'm just shocked that your neck's hurt. And the third thing I'm calling is that you guys have to see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Jochi with this beautiful, beautiful chest hair. If I could take a picture and show you, I will.
How did the stretching of the lines work out?
How does what? I'm sorry?
The stretching of the line. Remember that we just did that?
It worked out fine. You know, then again, speaking to a non-fisherman, but I'm out here. Well, anyway, that's all I was calling. I wish you guys the best today, and have a good time.
Thank you so much, and I hope you guys hook up something out there. Are you guys at Mashta or at the helicopter pad?
Secret.
We're by the Mashta.
Okay.
By Mashta, yeah.
Well, I just got a call from the helicopter pad crew, and they're not seeing any action either.
Yeah, we're good. You know, we're hanging out. But anyways, take care, guys.
Okay, good luck.
Take care. This is awesome. I don't know. I mean, it's because of the fishing tournament that we're getting all these calls. I was going to say we should do two-person shows more often. We get so many calls, but that's not why.
So the Tarpon tournament.
Yes.
Okay. Let me announce the results from yesterday. Okay. The Wild Rice was the first to hook on in front of the helicopter pad on Nixon Beach there. I think it was Angie Rice who was the first to hook on. Is that when I was at the post office today? Yes, exactly.
I'll tell that story later.
Okay, so their boat, and then they got another tarpon a little later. So that's two for the Wild Rice. Then the Dr. Plum got one on, and finally Piero's Tarpon Slayer got one on. Now the three of those were in front of the helicopter pad, and another one was in front of. In the Mashta Pocket, as they're calling it now. Everything's got a little nickname now. And so today, now a couple new boats are out there, like the Wet Rat. They weren't fishing yesterday. And so they're going to try and see if they can get more than 4 fish in a day, because that's a pretty low number for the amount of boats there are out there. I think there's like 30, 20... That's a lot. I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot of boats.
And those are the only people who...
Yeah, there was only 3 boats managed to hook. Wow. Get some fish, and then one of them got 2. So anyway, tell your story today about this. Is really funny if he's listening. So
I hope he's listening. What's his name? Mike Rice?
It's probably Mike Rice, yeah.
So I don't know if this is called creeping and being a weirdo at the post office, or if it's called community, okay? But I was at the post office today, and while I was in the line and being bored and making weird Snapchat videos of the 1980s decor of the post office, I saw a man in flip-flops and some shorts and a Ha-Ha tournament t-shirt, so I was already excited by the fact that he'd probably be listening today. I didn't say anything because he was speaking to the man behind him, and all excited that his daughter caught 2 tarpon. And you just announced it, and so it is him, because you just said that Angie Rice caught 2. So I wanted to congratulate her, because that's freaking awesome. So I almost approached him in the line at the post office and said, oh, you know what? I'll announce it on air if you care. But I didn't say anything, so now I'm being a creepo, and I hope he's not going to remember me, because I was behind him in line talking to my mom. But I don't know, I kind of like that community feel that you can kind of know who everybody is. When I announced it on our group chat earlier, they immediately knew who it was, and I kind of described the way he looked with this gray hair, and they're like, oh, that's Mike Rice. So yeah, it's either creeping or community, one or the other, but I like it.
Oh, sorry, they keep telling me they can't hear you.
Really?
Yeah,
me?
which is weird, because I'm
usually so loud.
Else is good. He says, people can't get enough of her.
Hey, listeners. Wait, that's not good. Let's fix that.
He says that's better. That's better.
Really? Okay, good. I hope they heard my silly story. Oh, we have a caller.
Another caller. Man, this is
awesome. I love this. I love it.
Hello.
This is the branch office calling.
Hey,
branch office.
The committee boat.
committee vote. It's an awful slow afternoon, but I have two comments.
Yes.
With respect to Mike Rice, creeping, not community. and I would like any listeners on the radio to please call in and confirm that we'll have a vote.
That's great.
Secondly, I was listening to Mark Freed, and he's been looking for his long-lost friend, Bill Keegan. And if anybody knows how to reach him, please call Mark.
Well, Steve, thanks so much for the call.
Thank you.
Have a good one out there. Good luck, because the BO never catches anything. See ya.
Well, I was...
Wait, is that Austin?
Austin? Oh.
Oh, no, it's just radio.
Well, while I was creeping, I actually heard Mike mention the BO. So, but I don't remember what he said. Now I wish I remember what he said about the BO, but I don't. I think that should be a new segment, creeping or community.
What, because you overheard this conversation?
No, because I feel like we always overhear or run into people on the key. It's something that happens every time I leave my house. You can't leave your house in PJs, although you shouldn't anyway, because you're going to see someone you know.
Yeah.
Be it at Winn-Dixie, at 7-Eleven, at the gas station. Creeping or community? Whatever, anyway.
It's like, yeah, I was snapping these pictures of this really attractive woman who I kind of knew. Creeping or community?
Creeping. Well, I'm glad people are listening. This is awesome.
So that's not the only tournament that's going on right now. The other tournament is the KeyRide Ultimate Frisbee Tournament. Summer Tournament, sorry. Crust, officially. And so let me announce the results of that. The Make Key Biscayne Great Again team.
Good name.
Headed by Anthony Puentes. Beat the Bulls on Parade, which is Derek Cardenas' and Danny DB's team.
Also good name.
11-9. And apparently, like, Bulls on Parade were on... they started off well, and then they somehow collapsed. And then Danny told us that story. Did you hear that story about Bulls on Parade?
About where it comes from? The name?
No.
Oh.
The name is, if people don't know, the name's from a song by Rage Against the Machine from the 90s. But he said that he told his teammates, like, Bulls on Parade, this is going to be awesome. We're going to play that song every time.
Yeah.
None of them, only like one person out of 8 or 9 people knew the song. So,
That's lame.
yeah.
That can't be true.
I mean, I can understand for, like, older people, but, like, people kind of our generation,
age has to know.
they should know that song. Anyway.
That was a song that was a big part of our teenagerhood.
And then...
adolescence.
Team Revolver, which is Grant Kunkel's team, beat the Miami Tropics, which is Harry's team, 11-6. Grant Kunkel is the defending champion of the tournament. I think he's won it like 3 times.
I was going to say, Grant's team won. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, exactly. So, one thing I wanted to mention about both of these tournaments is that they both have these emails that go out, okay? Austin writes one, and Gannon writes another. And I'm not participating in either of them, but I'm on the chain.
Okay.
It's not about the chain. It's about what both Austin and Gannon write. Both of them are really funny writers,
okay.
and like they know how to like say like little funny quirks. Gannon likes to give everybody a nickname, so he's got all these nicknames for everybody.
G-Man likes to give nicknames? Really?
Yeah, it's really good. And so you read it, like I have these emails and I'm thinking these are going to be great like in the future because he's got all these references and stuff like that. And Austin's the same way. Austin likes to do, his humor is like more subdued, and what he loves to do is just like mention that the branch office is the best, but like subtly all the time. And that's really funny too, and I really appreciate it. So if Austin's listening, I don't think G-Man is. Well, he might listen tomorrow or something.
Those emails
but I really like those emails.
I used to be on the Frisbee one for some reason. I definitely don't play, but I used to go out when it was at the Village Green years ago.
Yeah, when the people reply, whatever. I'm talking about the commissioners.
The original
the original messages. Sure. They put effort in, you know. I know these guys are at work, like, putting off all their work and writing an email for, like, half an hour
Those
or whatever.
are fun.
And making sure it's, like, just hits the right notes and stuff like that.
Once in a while.
And I have them all since they started.
Whenever there's a band that's from New Orleans comes near Miami, which is usually Fort Lauderdale, I usually put together a little email to all the folk that like New Orleans music or lived in New Orleans. I include you, so you know which ones I'm talking about. And it's fun to write like a little email to a group of people that have a common love of whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Especially with a little humor in it.
Exactly. I don't know if mine are so humorous, but...
Like, when I write stuff, even if I'm funny, it always comes off as, like, resented, so I don't like to...
That's just your personality.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm joking.
So I don't like to do it.
That's the Frisbee. I didn't go because it's at Mast, and I know that's not far, but I miss it being on the Village Green, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it was better when it was at the Village Green, but they like playing at Mast better.
Sure. I'll go next Sunday.
All right, so that's Weekend Talk and Frisbee and Tarpon Talk. It is 6:55 p.m.
Oh, we might hit the full hour.
Yeah, we might hit the full hour. 6:55 p.m. on this Wednesday, April 13th, 2016. This is the No One's Listening show. I'd announced the trivia again, but it was already guessed by Mark. The trivia was who was the artist that does the comics in The Islander. It's Pete Evans. Okay. Talk of the town.
Talk of the town.
Let's go with 530 Crandon Boulevard. That's where the current dog park is. At a council meeting last night, they looked at proposals for a little park with a little stage, little music stage and all this stuff, and it looks cool. And they said that it might cost between $1.2 and $1.4 million. They had a lot of ideas. Maybe they'll close off McIntyre. Maybe they'll close off a little bit of the street to put more park in. Who knows? They didn't really say when it was going to happen.
I read
or
about
I wasn't paying attention.
I read about closing half of McIntyre.
Can I just say that I saw the thing with a stage and the little band shell or whatever you want to call it, the little... what are these things
Cover?
called? No, it's amphitheater style little thing.
Oh, it's like that? It's not.
Well, it's like a stage with it has a little
sound.
Yeah, it kind of has like a little hood, but it's open.
Okay.
So it just has a cover on top, kind of nice. Like it almost looks like a sail, you know?
Cool.
On top, and so they say 1.2 to 1.4 million, and I don't know why, but considering what other things have cost, I think that's really low, and I think they're lying. Like, they're not lying, but they're kidding themselves. They're lying to themselves that it's going to cost so little.
That's what I was going to comment on, is that after hearing that the dog park is going to cost $800,000, how is something like this going to cost 1.2 to 1.4?
Which is much bigger space. It's a much bigger space, and it's not much bigger, but it needs a good amount of stuff in it, and I don't know.
What else is...
And closing roads and stuff. It just
besides the stage, what else is proposed on that park?
Trees and little paths, and that's it.
So maybe that's why.
It's kind of like whatever. I like the idea of the stage, though. Take my guitar out there and just play for people.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What kind of music is going to be played on there? But
they'll do those winter music concert series that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Should we get into that now?
I'm just wondering, because let's say they make a stage.
Okay.
Do they need some sort of endowment fund to be putting on concerts?
Well, the Key Biscayne Community Foundation already puts on the concerts, and they'll have a better place than where they put them on right now, which is in the rec center upstairs, which is just not a place you want to go see a concert.
And can we do, like, we just go up in there and play our music?
I think so. I don't see why you couldn't just sit there and play a song, right?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen little concerts. What is the church? Why don't I know this? Where, like, Lou's band has played.
The community church.
Yes. Like those little concerts?
Yeah.
And, like, big Lou's band can play. Like, how cool would that be?
It would be great.
On a Saturday afternoon.
I will just go there and play if anybody wants to go hear me.
I'll go.
Yeah, 2 weeks into the thing, I'll be playing some covers. I know, like, a couple Beatles songs and...
that Beach Boys song.
And one Beach Boys song. It'll be a short set, maybe like 10 minutes. Okay. So we've talked about this on the show a bunch. I know this is really a big thing for our buddy Manny, whose birthday it is. Happy birthday, man. I know we told you already, but
Manny,
I wanted to make a bigger
birthday.
fanfare about the fact that it was his birthday.
We're going to sing happy birthday to him before
Better than good.
Better than good.
50th lap around the sun. I mean, this is a big momentous occasion.
This is someone with so much energy that we need to give him some energy
So
today.
he's going to like this one. The council, put the dog park referendum that Susan Joch is trying to get for the November ballot. They put it on the agenda last night for their meeting, And the mayor brings it up. She goes, do you guys want to discuss this? And nobody says anything. Susan Jock is in the audience. Nobody says anything. Then Dr. Kelly kind of says, I want to say something. And he says, to paraphrase him, he's like, you elected us to vote on things. Referendums are, getting in the way. And then nobody said anything else. The whole thing took like a minute. This got an article in the paper last week.
It got a huge
the fact that they were going to get
article.
the referendum on the agenda. She didn't have any support out there, Susan Jock. She seemed like she was there by herself. So, like, all those people who signed the petition weren't out there to...
How many people was that?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Oh, Mark signed it.
Oh. Well, listen, what she was trying to get was, what do you need, 10% of registered voters?
Yeah.
So she was trying to get the counts from the online petition to count for towards the petition.
So anyway, so that they dismissed it really quick. So that was kind of interesting how much they don't care. What was funny is that nobody wanted to talk. Then Dr. Kelly comes out and he talks against referendums. When he was a guy who was, before he got on the council, if I remember correctly, somebody probably correct me if I'm wrong, 305-361-8557. He was a guy who got the referendum passed to limit zoning by vote. So basically, he was like, you can't make bigger buildings on the Key unless people vote for it. And bigger than what's already on the lot. And he actually got that as like a grassroots. He got all the signatures, and then they put it on the ballot, and then they said, and they passed. And what that does is it doesn't let the council vote on something. It puts it to the voters every time. I hope this all makes sense.
Yes.
And so now you have that same guy who basically got into politics by getting a referendum on the ballot, saying that referendums are dumb and don't let them execute their
well, he already got
duties,
what he wanted.
which is funny. But anyway, they didn't like the dog park referendum. They didn't spend even a minute on it, and it seems like they are not backtracking on it, and they don't care. I guess they're gonna try and build it before the election. I don't know.
Is this the lady that photobombed us?
Yes, it is. She photobombed us at the Aqua Party.
Oh my God! There's so many calls. I love it.
Hey, you're on the air.
Rafa, it's Jochi.
How's it going, Hoach?
Pretty good, man. First time, long time.
Yeah, welcome back.
Talk to us. What's up?
Pour me a drink, man.
Gluck, 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 gluck. You guys get anything yet?
I'm aboard the Wet Rat with Griff. This is our second call into the radio station tonight.
You got any fish on or not?
We've seen a fish. We don't have shit yet.
How are the crabs? Did you guys ever get crabs after they all got stolen?
Bobby got some nice crabs. We got crabs. We have mullet, but
they're just not biting.
Jimbo's trying to get a tarpon on right now, actually.
I remember, I think I went out there like 2 years ago, and all the action was by the lighthouse. Are you guys close to the lighthouse or closer to Mashta Flat?
We can see the lighthouse. We're about a mile from the lighthouse.
All right. Has anybody called any fishing today?
Yeah, the committee both said somebody was on. We haven't heard anything since.
Well, maybe when the sun goes down a little bit more, you guys will have a little more luck.
All right. Well, we'll call into the update later on.
Great. Thanks for the call. Good to hear from you.
Okay, bye.
Later.
There should be more tournaments during our show. Or something.
Right?
Or, when before we had... This is so going off on a tangent, but I can, because there's only 2 people here tonight. Before there was DVR, we used to get together to watch TV shows. Like, we used to get together on Sunday nights to watch Entourage at the Del Corral's house. And people should get together to listen to our show and have some drinks and call in. So, guys, there's an idea for you. Like a listening party every Wednesday, 6:30.
Okay, this is the weirdest text that I've ever gotten.
Really?
without any context. I didn't. It's because I guess I didn't hear it.
Okay.
But I guess when Steve called in, he mentioned a guy named Bill Keegan. I heard it, but barely.
Yeah.
And so Austin writes, Bill Keegan was an old teacher at the Cuban Elementary that molested all these old guys.
Oh, is that why he asked? I thought it was just a friend of his, and I'm like, oh, he's making an inside joke. Cute, you know? What? Is this like a real thing?
I don't know.
Well, maybe it'll be a trivia next week.
Maybe on another day we'll have somebody
tell us a story.
tell us one of those stories. We'll dim the lights and get real into it.
Dim the lights, yeah.
Okay, so that's enough on the dog park. The village is looking to build a parking lot, or more than one parking lot. One under 530 Crandon, which is where that new park that we were just talking about was. That one probably won't happen because it's underground. It's too much.
I was gonna say, what do they mean by under? Like the
like literally underground, just like the rec center one.
Okay.
And the other one is to go to right behind the city hall where they have that parking right now. They want to build a parking garage. So this
How
thing.
tall? How many floors?
I'm not sure how many floors, but they think like a lot of floors and a lot of stuff. So this goes in the council meeting yesterday, and then it gets into an argument about, if we build parking, we're essentially encouraging more traffic because, if you make it easier for people to drive, then more people will drive because that's just how it works. That's how traffic engineering works. And so then they got into a little argument about, well, not an argument, a discussion about, is it good to encourage more people to drive when we already have all these traffic problems? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Theo thinks that by giving away free parking the way we are now, like free parking at the Village Green, free municipal parking, you are essentially subsidizing parking for people because that's not free.
Theo.
The key is actually paying for it, and if you want to discourage people from driving, you put a fee on parking, and
Theo.
that way people won't drive as much. When they see that they have to pay, they will not drive.
Then what's the freaking point of putting the garage and having people not park?
What do you mean?
Well,
he doesn't want to put the garage. He thinks that
good.
putting
I
the
don't
garage
either.
is a bad idea because it encourages more people to drive.
agree
When
with
they
that.
think that they can drive, they'll be on the streets, and then we'll have more traffic.
I agree with that.
And you'd have to build a lot of garages to meet demand. So as soon as you build one garage, you just have more people showing up, and suddenly
sure.
your problem of parking is still kind of a problem.
I guess, listen, I think Theo's a little bit more affected by the whole parking because of his parking situation. So he's thinking like, okay, if we charge, that's like a fair thing to do. But that's just adding something to the key that I don't think we want or need or should have. I don't know.
I kind of like it because I do think that
charging for parking?
I just think that, it will work. It will discourage people from driving
But then
to the places.
I get
And they
that.
got into this big argument, and Evans actually made a cartoon about it this week. About how people drive to go do exercise and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and it's
so-
like, it really is. If you make it just a little tad more inconvenient to drive, then you get less congestion.
Then don't make a freaking parking garage.
Well, no,
Don't charge for
these are the
parking.
people who don't want the garage, arguing that we should charge for street parking also.
Oh, charge for street parking?
Yeah.
That's not cool. I'm
No?
sorry. Get out of my face. No. That's a line I use often. Sorry, it's such a weird line. It's not even like an appropriate line. I remember, listen, it gives you kind of like this anxiety that you don't need living on an island. I'm sorry. I used to work in Wynwood in 2007 before there was any of this crap that's all over there. And you didn't have to pay for parking. And part of not paying for parking, it just makes you feel like you're part of that community and that it belongs to you, and that's how we should all feel here. And then when you pay for parking on the streets, you just feel cheated. And I don't think that you need to feel like you need to pay for parking on an island where this is our community. I really don't think that at all. I think it almost like it discourages people from, I don't know how to express myself in this one. I think it makes you feel like an outsider in your own community.
Okay.
I really do, because when I used to work in Wynwood every day and then they started charging for parking, then I felt like they were blocking me out. And imagine how it'd feel as a resident feeling blocked out of parking on my streets, you know? And we don't even get too many people from the outside, so it doesn't even, like, affect that, you know? It doesn't tell me not to drive. If I'm going to drive, I'm going to drive. The $2 isn't going to make me not drive, believe me.
I think it kind of will.
I don't drive that. I noticed today that I don't drive as much as I thought. Because there's stuff in my car that was there like a week ago that I should have removed.
Oh.
Your guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
And I forgot that was in there. But I don't know. If you're going to drive, you're going to drive. $2 or not.
Well, the beach is $4.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what
and
you
how
gotta...
shitty do you feel? I'm sorry. How crappy do you feel?
Actually, I don't know. I kind of like the idea, but then I think of the practicality. So you charge for parking on the Village Green, right? And then suddenly all down Heather on the swale, everybody's parking because they don't mind walking a block, but they do mind walking, 10 blocks.
So are you saying that people that don't live on Heather are going to park on Heather?
Yeah, exactly.
In people's yards, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that.
You would have to do this whole thing where you don't allow parking anywhere.
Yeah, it screws the whole thing.
You know what they could do?
What? Instead
of charging for parking, you could just get rid of all the parking. And then...
What?
Yeah, you just get rid of it all. Then it's like, where do I park? Oh, there's no parking. Then you fix the problem. You're not charging anybody to park.
Remember?
And you're telling people, hey, there's no parking, so don't even show up.
Remember when we were in New Orleans? How good did it feel to just park on the street
and not
have to pay?
Yeah.
How welcome did you feel in that residential community?
Yeah, but in New Orleans, there's no Key Colony, there's no Ocean Club, there's no...
There's going to be that building on Magazine.
If those places didn't exist and we only had things like in New Orleans that were all 2 stories,
sure,
we would have enough street space to accommodate everybody. We're not going back to that, so forget it.
I don't know. I think whatever. There should be some sort of other effort to have people not driving.
So after Theo says all this at the meeting, and he feels pretty passionately about this, the fact that we shouldn't be building parking garages to encourage people to drive more when we already have a traffic problem and all this stuff. Everybody kind of looked at him like, I don't know if I can endorse paying for parking and at the Village Green and things like that. And then the only person to say something was Terry Gross, who kind of agreed with him. He didn't agree. I'm not sure he said strictly that we should charge for parking, but he was like, no, we can't be building a parking garage for all these people who, who it's just going to make people want to drive more. And if you've been on Crandon at 3 p.m., it's already horrible. You got to get on Fernwood, and in the morning, it's just horrible everywhere. And to not build garages, so...
Just don't build the garage.
It was a good thing.
For parking.
Then De La Cruz said something interesting. He was like, well, there's residents of this island that could easily pay. They didn't say a number, but let's say it was like Miami Beach, $4 an hour. There's residents of this island who won't sweat paying that.
But that's
price.
what I just said.
And there's other residents who will. You know what I mean? It's
about principle, and that's what I just said. Is that people will just freaking pay it. If you want to drive, you want to drive. Yeah. But I think it takes away a little bit of the community feel. I really do.
So that makes me think, where do you stand? Do you think they should build this parking garage? Do you think it encourages driving and traffic? Or do you think they should just leave things as it is? Or even maybe you think they should charge people for parking on the street and everything like that? 305-361-8557 is the number to call if you have something to add.
I doubt any of the people fishing are for
thinking about
paying for parking.
Nobody's for paying for parking at the time.
Fine, it comes with the garage. But what
it doesn't come with the garage.
But if they said if we do a garage and pay for parking, then we pay for parking on the street.
No, that's not what they said. Okay. They said we shouldn't even be letting people park for free anywhere at all because it's only encouraging people to drive.
What is the garage is for? The Civic Center that they're thinking of putting?
No, that's the park and it's just for the Village Green, really. And the whole area.
No garage.
All right, it is 7:13 p.m. on this Wednesday, April 13th. This is the Key Biscayne No One's Listening show. Talking about that, the next thing they mentioned was this KeyRide. If you guys haven't used the KeyRide yet, it's these golf carts that go around the key, and you can just call them, and they'll pick you up. This was a thing. It's like a little bus, like what are those? What are little Haitian buses called?
I don't know.
Come on.
There's a name?
The Jitneys, right?
I don't know.
Whatever. It's kind of like that, but it has a little Uber app that you can download on your iPhone and whatever.
And cool little drivers.
Yeah. Guys that Anna really likes. You haven't been on there yet, right?
Once I sat in it for like a second and then gave up my seat and went in your guys' car to go to the party.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were excited. You're like, hey, this guy.
I did. I sat there and then I gave up my seat.
So these guys are so busy that sometimes you'll call them right now and it'll be an hour wait. So,
which defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
almost.
But this is encouraging because at first they were like, oh no, nobody's going to ever want to ride this thing. Yeah. And now it seems like everybody is riding this thing. There's a really long wait to get it. So they're thinking of getting more of them because this is a real solution to getting cars off the road. And so they really like the idea.
I forget, did the drivers get paid?
Yeah, the drivers get paid.
Oh, okay.
They get paid a meager wage, below minimum wage, and they rely on tips to a certain extent. Okay. Sort of okay. They get paid
They're
nothing.
Young. When I was that age, I would take it.
Yeah, I would take it too, but I don't know. I don't want to talk about the specifics of our economy and how nobody gets paid anything except for the tip of the top. So, that's good. That's promising. The only thing, the app is iPhone only. Recently, you used to be able to send a text message to them and say, hey, can you come over and pick me up? The other day, I don't have an iPhone, I have an Android phone. I sent them a text. They were like, you got to use the app. I was like, I don't have an iPhone. And they're like, sorry, man, can you just like find someone with an iPhone?
No.
I was like, what are you talking about, man? You can't say that.
So you got squeezed out, and you're like one of their first users of the thing.
But I'm good friends with Melissa, so I instantly sent her a text message like, yeah, what the hell is this deal, you know? Melissa's like the one who organized to make KeyRide happen. I was like, I'm being, shut out for not being an iPhone person. And she was like, that's unacceptable. And
has it changed?
Yes, it's changed. Now if I want a KeyRide, I send a message to Melissa, and then she books my KeyRide on her iPhone.
Oh, my God. And if you don't know Melissa, you're just...
yeah, and you don't have an iPhone, you're screwed.
What time what time does it run, by the way?
I think it runs like 8 to 8 on the weekdays, and it goes to midnight, I think, on the weekends, on Friday and Saturday.
It'd be fun if they had, like, late-night rides.
Yeah, I mean, that is late night for the Key to a certain extent, right?
No.
No, they need that. Well, if they get more cars, I bet there is demand at those times. If to have one car,
people are drinking, you're at a party, you don't want to walk or lazy, whatever. You need a parking garage. I think that's great. That's awesome. I hope they can put more carts and drivers. That's so cool.
Yeah. So,
then the question is, can you request a driver? Once they have like 5 drivers, can you request a driver?
A certain driver, right?
Yeah.
And can you just tell them, like, don't even bother taking me anywhere. Just come up and have a drink.
That's not what I said at all. That is not what I said.
So that's the KeyRide. So the other thing I have here is about asbestos, and you don't want to hear about that just yet.
Next.
But that's coming up. All right. It's, I don't know, about that time to do
a little song.
Wait, do you have news?
Me?
Yeah.
I do have news. Because I won't be here next week because I'm busy. There is a cultural exchange program organized by this independent curator in Miami called Liz Cerejido. She's awesome. She's a photographer also. And she got a Knights Foundation grant a couple years ago to do this program where she took 7 artists from Miami that were Cuban but had never been to Cuba. And she took them over to Cuba in May of last year during the biennial to do sort of this cultural exchange, do studio visits, institutional visits in Havana. And the second part of the program is coming up now, April 20th through the 30th. She's bringing over 10 artists from Cuba to Miami, and we've created a program where we're hitting up different artist studios, getting tours at museums, collectors are hosting us for dinners, blah, blah. But the symposium, there's a symposium that's happening on the 28th and 29th of April. It's a Thursday and Friday all day. So if you don't work, or you can take off work, it's at PAM and it's open to the public. It starts at 10 a.m. and goes through like 7 p.m. basically.
What's a symposium, Anna?
A group of curators, writers, and artists will be discussing Cuban diaspora, basically, in Miami within the art world. And
why is this different from just any normal Cuban heritage thing that they do here in Miami?
I mean, I think it's the first time that we're able to, and that someone has organized something like this where Cuban artists can come over and freely discuss their ideas, not just from their art practices, but the relationship between Cuba and Miami and the diaspora that has happened in Miami, and have a conversation between those two groups of artists from different generations, sit down and discuss the effects of that.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it. A lot of the curators at PAM are involved. Different writers are involved, and people that have really, they dedicate their whole lives to this. So it's going to be really cool. So I won't be here next week, but it's for a good reason.
All right.
Yeah. There's more. I was going to say more silly things.
Yeah, you had other things to talk about too, right?
Did I?
I don't know. I thought I remembered.
Oh, I just want to say how much I appreciate. I'm sorry, I'm not on the mic. What is it called? I want to applaud the Where in the World section of the Islander News. I think it's so great. It makes me feel so good when I see people with their Islander news in their little picture. The one this week, it's a family in Beijing. And it's so cool to see people from our community in different parts of the world. I've only been on it once when we were in Guadeloupe for Tesha Gaya's wedding. I think it's so awesome.
It is a good little section. I wonder who started it. Someone probably just sent their picture and was like, hey, publish this. I'm on the Great Wall with a newspaper.
Wonder why it's not weekly. People certainly go to different places. And
I think they use it as filler. Like when they need to fill a block of space, they're like, hey, pull one of these pictures.
That's like every week because some of the stuff is like not. Okay. I don't know what else I was going to say. I had some silly things to say.
Do you want to talk about your beach cleanups or not?
Oh, I mean...
Not anymore, right? You're not as passionate about it.
No, I am as passionate about it. Listen, yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Shut up. I went to the beach yesterday, okay, for an hour just to get... I have a little cold, so I went to get some fresh air. There was so much freaking trash in the water, on the sand. And, I mean, Rafa and I talked about this later. I go to the Key Colony Beach. I'm wondering if it's like the curve of the island, if that's why the trash washes up on there, because he says at his beach there's not as much trash. But I think we need to start an initiative where we promise ourselves and each other that you pick up at least 5 pieces of trash every time you go to the beach. I think it'll make us more conscious of it and more aware of what's going on around us, because we sit there and people are playing soccer and they're listening to music and they're tanning and they're drinking and whatever, so they don't pay attention to what's around. Don't laugh at me. I really believe this, except that today I did not pick up the trash. I know, because I was late to come to the show. Rafa asked me earlier. I went to the beach again today for about an hour, but I was reading The Islander, and he asked me, did you pick up trash today? And I said no. But yesterday I picked up a piece of a Solo cup, duct tape, a Snickers bar wrapper, and 2 unidentified objects. It's messed up, man. I don't know who's sitting there that they're throwing these things, or the wind is taking it and they're lazy to get up and pick it up. No one should be leaving any piece of anything on our beach. I don't know what the hell's going on.
When I was in 8th grade, we had to do a beach cleanup with St. Agnes or something. And we were out there picking up.
I've done those.
Yeah. And I thought it was so cool that I found a condom on the beach.
Ew, and you picked it up with your hands.
No, first I didn't. I had to signal to the person who had like something to pick it up.
Was it used?
I don't remember if it was yeah, it was used. But not only that, it was like in the part, like kind of near the beach club, where those little prickly things are. You know?
The landmines.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so horrible experience.
It was like somebody had a really bad experience out there. I mean, they finished, but they.
Ew, how do you know? Because you looked inside?
Looked inside. The thing was right there. It was like happening.
That's disgusting.
It was in your face.
That's disgusting.
Anyway, that's the kind of garbage you find out there. And what I wanted to mention to you, because since we did talk about this last night and you were so passionate about it, but then today you didn't pick up any garbage.
I was late.
I was looking at events to announce on the show, and we'll go into that in a second. And there are beach cleanups every month on the Key.
Good.
And they're led by a woman named Francie Morales. I don't know her. And her phone number is 305-776-2525. And I'm not sure the meeting spot, so you might want to call her. That's 305-776-2525. I'll post it on the show notes so you can check it out if you're into beach cleanups.
Listen.
Which apparently you are now.
I've done them before, but they're usually like Saturday at 8 a.m.
Yeah,
okay?
that's there.
Which I understand.
6:30 a.m.
Oh, 6:30. Okay, even worse. I understand because that's when the beach is empty. But if,
I like your concept of 5 pieces of
because
garbage.
if we as beachgoers, everybody is a little bit more conscious of this and picks up 5 pieces, then the situation would get better, I think. There's another thing to announce, which I don't know now because what you said about the parking, the Presbyterian Church. Oh, we have a call. Beach cleanup comments.
Nah, it's probably somebody telling us to shut up or something.
Put music
Hey, caller,
back in.
you're on the air.
I'm on the air.
Yes, who is this?
I want to verify if this is the correct number because I keep hearing different.
Hey, this is Lynn. Hey, Lynn.
No. No, I don't think so. I just want to say that your show is so entertaining, and I am just sitting right next to the radio with my ear right to it, listening to you.
Oh, you are the best.
That's
what a
awesome,
sweetheart.
Lynn.
And we
The
love
only problem is I never heard about the Betsy.
the Betsy hasn't called in, and they haven't caught anything, at least not yesterday. So I don't know how they're doing today. We'll announce next week how they did at the end of the tournament, but I haven't heard anything. If the Betsy's listening
Right.
or somebody can tell us what's going on,
Call us.
call us up.
Well, let's beware. Let's beware. If we don't have a catch on that boat, we could be in trouble.
Well, thanks so much for the call, Lynn, and thanks for being a
Thanks
loyal
for
listener.
listening, Lynn.
All right. I am a loyal listener.
You are the best.
Awesome.
Bye.
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 Ah, she's the sweetest.
That's sweet. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you want to clean up stuff at the beach, you should do it. And
Yeah.
you should do it.
Yeah, I will.
I wanted to mention the Key Biscayne calendar, which is something we usually do at the top of the show, but I'll do it right now. I have a bunch of events, but there's only one that matters, and it's the 4th of July parade, fundraiser barbecue. If you didn't know, I am the president of the parade, and so I
sounds
really
really
need
funny.
to really make sure that everybody comes to this event. This event last year was such a big hit that it made us break even to a certain extent. So,
Wow.
yeah, which is nice. It's a really fun event. This year we've got this amazing band that tours nationally. Guy's name is Josh Panda, and I forget what he's like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. He's Josh Panda and the Manny. Text me with the name of the thing.
Find it while you talk about it.
And they play a bunch of original songs and a bunch of covers too. They'll play for us, and they're really pro, and it's going to sound really nice. And they're going to play for 3 hours. It's going to be great. And then we got Shorty's Barbecue, and
That's awesome.
I don't know. It's going to be a really good time. It's at the Beach Club. It's on April 29th, Friday. Tickets are $25 in advance. They're $40 at the door. So
get it in
them
advance,
in
basically.
advance, all right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to pay $40. And you don't want to come crying to me that you shouldn't pay $40 because it's 11 o'clock and the thing's about to close, but all your friends are inside and you're going to pay it. You know, you're going to feel bad, but you're going to pay $40 to be with your friends for an hour because you already drove all the way out there. So
You drove there? You didn't walk there?
I didn't. I mean, I've walked the beach out
I'm
there,
playing.
but you know the deal.
And the easiest
You
way
don't
to
wanna
learn
be that guy.
The easiest way to learn about it, honestly, is Facebook. There's a 4th of July parade Facebook page, and it's listed on there as an event. And I have to, just as I applauded Where in the World, I have to applaud Rafa for the cool little fork design. I love
you.
it. It's awesome.
That was well, I don't want to talk about my design and all that crap. because
Whatever, I will. I liked it.
It's no. I was like, oh
Oh!
man, this show is good.
This show's awesome.
Oh, hey, you're on the air. Hello?
Oh, prank call.
Call me back on something that's not WhatsApp.
Oh. Whatever. Join the Facebook page because I
Yes.
think it'll remind you of
4th
the
of
events
July
and the
parade.
prices. All the info's there.
April 29th, big event, Friday. It's going to be awesome. Beach Club, corn toss, Shorty's Barbecue, rum cocktails. When you buy a ticket, all your drink and food is included. I mean, this is like, I don't think any other Q people, foundation or anything, does a thing where the drinks are included with the price.
Is there music?
Actually, the Lions Club might. Yeah, there's music. Josh Panda, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my God. I'm glad I asked because now we are reminded of that. That's awesome. We're excited about that.
It's going to be good.
We spoke about the band a couple weeks ago when we had...
You know what sucks?
What?
You're not going to be there.
Shut up, man. I'm going to be... Actually, that is the last night of the symposium at PAM, April 29th. So...
There's no way you get out of there early.
It's going to end around 7, but then there's an after party at PAM. Oh, it's a private event. Don't come to that. But there's an after party, and it'll probably end, I don't know, 9, 10, and so I'll be there later. The party at the Beach Club ends at midnight, so, yeah.
That's promising. So that's our Key Biscayne calendar.
No, I have one more calendar stuff. Oh, go ahead. Caller.
Hey, what's listening show?
Hey, thanks for calling. We're about to put the music on. Don't worry.
Hey, well, what number caller am I? Do I win?
Yeah.
Is that Austin?
Number 8, dude, which is impressive for today.
Impressive.
Sweet. This is Austin calling, by the way. I heard Jess's mom's call. She sounds a little bit worried. Jess is okay, but he hasn't caught any fish so far. We have Mark Freed just released a fish after talking to your show, so that might be good luck.
Hey, great.
And Big Lou's hooked up as we talk, fighting the fish.
Nice.
So usually at sunset it gets hot. So
okay, that's good to hear. So that's
awesome report.
That's 2 fish today so far.
Two fish so far, and the bite's about to come on.
Okay.
But I want to say that you guys sound awesome tonight.
Thank you.
And I agree with you. The Where in the World is the Islander is one of my favorite segments.
Yes.
And I just wanted to mention that the Key Biscayne barbecue tickets are going to be some of the prizes for the tournament this year.
Great.
So,
how does it compare?
So catch them up, boys.
How are things comparing to last year, Austin?
Last year, first day, four fish were caught also.
Okay.
So it's a little bit slow today, and really all the hits are usually right the 5 minutes before and after sunset, just when it gets hot, so it's hard to tell.
Good to hear.
But last year, 22 total fish were caught, so, and that was a lot. So.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in. Don't worry, we'll get you back to your regular scheduled jams in probably like 5 minutes. I don't think I have much more.
All right, guys. I'll be there next week. My wife's out of town.
Oh yeah, when's the BO gonna get something on?
We're still hoping, man. After all these years.
You gotta get the lines really far out. I think there's something about the profile of that boat that's not.
And I can tell you really know what you're talking about when you're talking about fishing around. All right, guys.
We're on equal footing.
Bye,
All right,
Austin.
bye.
So there are a few more things we can discuss.
Okay, go.
I don't know how. We've already gone an hour. Anyway.
I thought this was going to be slow.
Yeah. Well, one thing is, and I mentioned it to you before the show, and now I'm almost certain about it, but the Presbyterian Church posted something on the Islander saying that now that they're requiring permits for parking. Is that, we've talked about this before? I don't know.
We did talk about it at one point that the Presbyterian Church would require permits for parking, but apparently the yacht club have some kind of agreement where the side that faces the yacht club is allowed to use.
Whatever.
And so the permits are actually for the people who play sports on St. Agnes Field and like to park there.
Well, I would like to give them the info of how they can register.
Okay, tell them.
You could go to the office at 160 Harbor Drive to register your vehicle. And they say it's for everyone. So if you live on the Key, if you're going to park there, go get it. And you can call 305-361-2058 if you have any questions.
Watch how, if they start booting, which apparently is what they're actually going to do.
What I want to prevent by giving this info.
You need a permit or else they're going to boot you on the on that side of the St. Agnes side of the Presbyterian. If they start booting, watch how people don't know about the parking pass, and they just start parking in the municipal parking that's on the street parking, you know?
Without charge.
Exactly. But, I mean, how quickly like one deterrent
Of course.
makes you change your behavior. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So
Semiotics of the key.
that's traffic engineering right there.
And one more thing is, I should have mentioned this during Weekend Talk, but on Saturday morning, I woke up after being in the mosh pit, and I decided I needed some ceviche to make myself feel better, which it always makes me feel better. But when I went to go meet up with Marcelo, it was behind Fernwood, or it was on Fernwood behind the park, and I saw that the farmers market was still up. And I don't know how. I feel like it's every weekend right now. I don't know up until when they do this. I doubt that they do it during the summer. But it's 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the community church parking lot.
Nice.
So I think we should all go. It's kind of small, but there is a lot of good produce for good prices. And it feels just like fresh veggies and fruit, unlike the supermarket. And it smells good and looks pretty.
So when is that?
Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you have to go there before 2 p.m. because at 2 p.m. they're all kind of closing down. But cool.
Do we have anything else?
Happy birthday, Manny.
Happy birthday, Manny. Happy birthday, Lala.
Happy birthday, Lala. Her birthday was on Monday. Yeah, it's
Long
still
time
close.
KeyRide.
Yeah, happy birthday,
to
Lala.
her. I guess that's our show.
I guess so.
I remember at some point I was ready to like say something that was kind of witty, and it was in reaction to something that might have been talked about, and it never came up, and I totally forgot what it was. So
I'll tell you something witty.
okay.
You know the golf cart parking at the CVS?
Yeah.
I always park there.
Me too.
I don't give a crap.
Yeah,
I don't care about
Yeah, I
that.
don't care
That's
either.
like, they're not going to, I don't
Yeah,
care.
it's not
But
real.
the funny part is that the other day, there are 2 golf cart parking spots, and one was open, so I put my car in there. But my car was smaller than the freaking golf cart. The golf cart was one of those, like, 3-row, like, 6-passenger, like, full frame golf cart, and I drive a small car. My car was smaller than the golf cart. So if anyone ever wants to give us crap about parking in those spots, screw that. If you fit, you're in.
I've parked a Jeep Cherokee in those spots. I don't give a damn. Like, to me, those are fake. Unless they come with like a Civic, like
They're fake.
thing. They're fake. They're just like somebody's preference, and I'm just like.
Except
whatever.
the ones in front of Novecento are short. So then you really need a small car or something.
Yeah, or
Those
you
are
can
short.
you can just take 2 sideways, or take 3 sideways.
Just like parallel park.
All right, that's the show. Thank you for listening. All the Tarpon fishermen, good
Yeah.
luck out there.
Manny, happy 49th birthday. We love you.
Yeah.
We really do.
I'll put the music on in just a second. You might want to turn your radio down just a tad, because usually the show is a little lower volume than the actual music.
To all our callers,
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much
that
for
was
calling.
awesome.
I think this is the first time we've had any callers, I think, since we started in September.
Yeah.
Any way to sign off that you can think of?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Manny.
Happy birthday to you and many more. All right, good night.
Good night.